Okay, so we got this acorn squash here that is so hard. I mean, you wouldn't want to hit this with your hand. It'd be like hitting somebody right in the skull. You'd probably break your hand hitting this thing. It's so hard. So let's start off with my newest design, the Defender. Okay, I'm going to chuck up on it like it's a ring. Okay, and we're just going to give this thing a good poke. I'm going to hold it so it don't roll away from me and try and give it a good slam. Okay. I mean, that's not something I want to hit with my hand at all. So you can see it's going to make like a small, shallow puncture mark. It's a pain compliance tool. This is not for making somebody bleed out. It's not a knife. So you don't have to worry about, I don't think about killing somebody with this thing, even if you really were to really whack them. So, you know, I'm hitting that thing as hard as I feel like I can without doing something stupid. And I want to show you that it makes absolutely no damage to the tool at all. Here's the Kabotan. I think this is going to be interesting to see. I haven't ever used, I've never ever used one of these. So I'm just going to grab this baby and just slam my hand into this like I was trying to hit somebody on the top of the head. We'll find a nice new spot there. Okay, so like I was going to pop somebody on the top of the head. Okay, I actually got some slap from the carabiner coming all the way around and slapping my knuckles. I hit it so hard. Okay, that makes a wicked punch mark. I'm going to I think I'm going to put that over there this time so it don't hit me in the knuckles. Oh yeah, baby. Alright, one more big hammer strike right on it, okay? Oh, I wanted to hit it so many more times. But anyway, I just want to show you that it's a pain compliance tool. It's not designed to kill somebody. It's designed to get an attacker off of you by creating so much pain that they go, what the heck, and they run away. This is my Axe Tac Fob. Okay, what's nice about this is you see the edge to it. If this was somebody's skin and you went like, trying to get this thing in here, it's going to cut them like a blade. And if you just whack them with it, what's happening is you're not hurting your hand. And the way I actually prefer to hold this thing is like an axe, choked up on this and going. You may not be delivering as hard a hit, but you're also not taking as much shock into your hand. So if you're just trying to get somebody on the bridge of the nose and get them off of you, you're going to cut them wide open. Here, this is a piece of paper on it, so let's see what that does when I go. You know, it's not something that somebody wants to get hit by. Now this has a little more lethality to it, but because it's so very wide, it's not going to go in very far. So even though it looks really scary, like it's going to gut somebody, because it doesn't really have a blade edge to it, it's probably not going to even go as far as this. But it has a wonderful look to it. It's a wonderful looking thing. And unlike these other tools, which no matter how I hit at it, okay, I'm not taking big slices off. This is going to take wicked chunks out of somebody if you hit them at the edge, right? And it is going to penetrate way farther, but it's not going to like a knife. It's not like a knife because it's not sharp as a knife. So it doesn't have the cutting power of a knife. Like for going through fabric and things like that would probably bunch up on it. But as far as just going in, okay, just in case anybody was wondering, are these plunge daggers actually weapons? Absolutely. These are non-metallic daggers, but they're not like a knife. But you can see what that's doing. Now the thing about it is this little point, once that hits a bone or something, I I mean, it's hard. I've hammered these through wood. I've got a video showing me hammering one of these through a piece of wood. I'm not sure what the tip would do if it actually hit something as hard as a piece of bone or tooth or something like that. But as far as actually inflicting an extremely painful, hideous wound, this is a great tool. Now, we got a relatively unscathed side, and this is what I call the lacerator. And it's the same idea as this, is that when you're hitting somebody at that angle, you're going to tear their skin, and it's just going to be super painful. Same idea with this, all these little pressure points here. I don't know, I've got to find, here's an area where there's no marks. I want to show that to you. See, it's got 1, 2, 3 good dents, and then a couple of smaller dents. And, you know, obviously it's a force multiplier because it's taking the hit and it's putting it into the palm of your hand. But unlike most brass knuckles, where it's a flat surface, you're getting these little PSI increases here. These are little force multipliers. Every one of these little points is going to impact with a much more energy than if you were to hit with, let's say, a flat. But it also looks a lot gnarlier. It's obviously a weapon. This does not look gnarly. It doesn't look like a weapon to me, but it's a wonderful thing, and it could be used to defend yourself. This looks a lot more like a weapon, but honestly, this isn't going to kill anybody. This isn't as dangerous as, say, it's hard for me because when you're punching, you'd be punching out. So I'm trying to punch down, trying to find an area that isn't terribly mangled, and give this another good shot. So you can kind of see what this will do. Okay, it's starting to split the whole thing apart, so now it's not hitting quite as firm. But see, it leaves a very serious ka-chunk. And I didn't want to make a point on it, because you don't want to put something that's that sharp in your pocket. Something like this, you could put it in your pocket, and if your hand ran across it, it wouldn't really bother you. If you put something this sharp in your pocket and you run across it, you're gonna know it. But you can see how wonderful that works. And of course, now that I've beat this thing to death, I can really smack it with this. I want to give you one more good couple of shots with this. I want to see if I can just bust this thing up. So, see, it doesn't even hardly stick out past my hand. I've got a big hand. Got to get that strap away from me because it wants to flip around and hit me. It's not like if I were trying to smash it with my hand. You know, I'd have bruises all over my hand from that. This is hard like wood. But you can smash right into something. And you don't even really have to hit that hard. See, I was really hitting super hard, but you can actually just make a short jab, and you're going to make little puncture marks. Similar to this. I mean, if you had this and you were just going, just hitting somebody as fast as you could, or if you had it like this, you know, I think the faster you hit them, the more they get the message that they should leave you alone. And you wouldn't have to hit them super hard. You don't have to be super strong, because it's about the pain. You know, all these are going to inflict pain. This might require more strength. But it's very obvious what this is. This is a crazy slamming, destroying type of, see, this has got damage areas everywhere. Okay. You know, I mean, this is just nasty. But I wanted to demonstrate just how strong this Kimcast cell cast acrylic is, and I kind of like this for pop, 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 because you're really not going to be in a fist fight with somebody. I don't think. I think somebody's grabbing you and you just want to get some pain on them. You know, put some pain into them, so they leave you alone. Something like this isn't any good really as a pain compliance tool. This is a striking weapon. You'd have to whack somebody with this to really do what you want. But as you can see, I'm able to hit this thing as hard as I want without fear of hurting my hand. You know, that's the whole purpose of these, is to save your hand. Something like this, I think the purpose of this is whatever you want it to be. It's a paperweight, right? All of these are just paperweights. Okay, so I hope that was edifying. And, you know, sometimes people see these little plastic things and they're like, ah, it's just a piece of plastic. No, this is the best plastic you can buy. This is the best clear plastic you can buy. It's tougher than regular acrylic, and polycarbonate is too soft. Polycarbonate bends and deforms. This does not. So this is why I choose this over polycarbonate for these kind of things. Not just because I have cell cast. I could go buy polycarbonate if I want to make it, or Delrin, or whatever. They're too soft. This is hard. You know, and I like holding it like this. It works like this. This thing is just wicked. This is just a great invention. I love this thing. This is just so nasty. You don't really have to use a lot of force. I'm barely pushing down and I'm just like, yeah, really? Really? You want my wallet? This is just crazy. This is like a grenade in your hand right here, the hand grenade. Alright guys, I really appreciate your support of Mountain Storm, and I hope you found that edifying, entertaining, whatever. If you want any of these things, get with me, because I'm selling them. RW_KEETON @yahoo.com is where I am. Get with me.